Not everyone deserves a place in your life. Psychology suggests that some people don't just walk into your life. They walk in with baggage that they expect you to carry. They drain your energy, they disrupt your peace, and they quietly, sometimes even unintentionally, hold you back from growing into who you're meant to become. And the crazy part? It's not always obvious at first. Some of these people have been around for years. Old friends, family members, exes, people you've outgrown, but you still keep in your life out of habit or guilt or nostalgia. But if you've ever sat with yourself in silence, if you've ever started healing, if you've ever seriously looked at your life and said, I want more than this, then you've probably felt it too. That little voice that says, why am I still holding on to them? Look, this isn't about bitterness. It's not about cutting people off to feel powerful. It's about choosing peace. It's about respecting your own growth enough to stop shrinking for people who don't see your value. So today, we're going to talk about it. The types of people who simply aren't worth keeping in touch with anymore. Not out of hate, but out of love for yourself. Because your energy is precious. Your time is sacred. And it's time to stop pouring into people who leave you empty. 1. The only when they need something type. You know exactly who I'm talking about. That person who vanishes into thin air for months, sometimes even years. No calls, no texts, not even a hey, how have you been, when things were hard for you. But the second they need something, suddenly your phone lights up with a familiar, overly cheerful message. Hey, long time no talk. So listen, I was wondering if you could. Sound familiar? Let's be real. That's not a check-in. That's a transaction. And you're not some emotional ATM they can withdraw from whenever it suits them. Because here's the truth. Friendship, real connection, it's not supposed to feel one-sided. You shouldn't have to wonder if someone's reaching out because they care or because they need something. And the worst part, they'll disguise it as just catching up. But deep down, if you didn't have something to offer, they wouldn't be texting you at all. You're not a pit stop. You're not a backup plan. And you're definitely not a favor machine. Friendship is supposed to feel like mutual effort, not emotional freeloading. So if someone only shows up when it benefits them, it's okay to stop picking up. It's okay to let them fade out of your life without guilt. Because you deserve people who show up when they don't need anything. People who call just to say, I miss you. People who ask how you're doing, not just what you could do for them. 2. The low-key hater type. Now this one's tricky. Because they don't come at you with obvious hate or jealousy. They wear the mask of a friend. They laugh with you, hang out with you, send you memes. But if you look closely, you'll start to see it. You share good news, like maybe you got a new job, start a new project, or finally hit a personal goal. And instead of being genuinely happy for you, they hit you with, oh, that's cool, but let's see how long it lasts. Or, well, must be nice to have all that free time. They act like they're joking. They smile. They laugh. They say it's just teasing. But you feel it, don't you? That tiny sting in your chest. That little moment where your excitement shrinks. That's not your imagination. That's your intuition. Low-key haters don't attack you outright. They chip away at your confidence. Little by little, they make you second-guess your wins. They'll throw subtle shade at your growth. And if you ever really start shining, they go quiet. They vanish. Or worse, they suddenly get competitive. And listen, real friends don't compete. They clap, loudly, proudly, even if they're still figuring their own life out. Because love isn't threatened by growth. Jealousy is. So if someone in your circle always finds a way to make you feel small when you're trying to rise, that's not a friend. That's a low-key hater in disguise. And it's okay to walk away. Not with anger, but with clarity. Because your wins deserve to be celebrated, not shaded. 3. The always negative type. You ever talk to someone and walk away feeling more tired than before the conversation started? That's this person. They always have something to complain about. Always something going wrong. And no matter what you say, what advice you give, or how much support you offer, they don't want solutions. They want sympathy, constantly. At first, you try to be understanding. Because, hey, we all go through rough seasons. But with this person, it's not a season, it's a lifestyle. And slowly, without even realizing it, you start to carry the weight of their world. their sadness, their drama, their anger. It all starts bleeding into your own peace. And that's when it hits you. You're not helping them heal. You're just being pulled into their storm. Now, don't get me wrong. We should be there for people we care about. But there's a big difference between supporting someone and sacrificing your mental and emotional health for someone who refuses to grow. Some people don't want light. They're just comfortable living in the dark, and they'll pull you in, too, if you let them. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your energy, especially not someone who drains it every single time. It's okay to create space. It's okay to love people from a distance. And it's okay to protect your peace, even if that means stepping away from people who refuse to protect theirs. For the one-sided effort type, let's talk about the kind of friendship that feels like you're the only one showing up. You know the type. You're always the first to text, the one checking in, the one remembering birthdays, sending voice notes, keeping the connection alive. While they respond when it's convenient. Maybe hit you back with a dry haha, or a we should catch up soon. That never actually happens. And after a while, it hits you. This friendship doesn't feel mutual. It feels like work, like you're carrying the entire thing on your back, while they're just casually enjoying the ride. And it sucks, because maybe you shared real memories. Late night talks, inside jokes. Maybe at one point, they were a big part of your life. But now it feels like you're holding on to a version of them that no longer exists. And let's be honest, that realization hurts. Because you're not asking for much. You're not demanding grand gestures. You're just looking for effort, for presence, for someone who cares enough to show up the way you always have. But if you're the only one watering the relationship, and they're just sitting there with an empty cup, eventually you burn out. Eventually you realize that love, care, connection, it all requires mutual effort. So here's the truth no one likes to say. Sometimes you stop reaching out not because you're mad, but because you finally see the pattern and you're done begging for the bare minimum. And that's not rude. That's not dramatic. That's self-respect. 5. The past life only type. Some people were meant to be part of your story, but not your destination. And that's one of the hardest lessons to accept. We all have those people. The childhood best friend, the college buddy, the old coworker, the ex you once thought you'd marry. They were there for a chapter of your life that mattered. A chapter that helped shape you. But now, things are different. You've grown. You think differently. You move differently. But when you talk to them now, it feels like you have to shrink back into a version of yourself you've outgrown, just to keep the connection alive. It's like they're still talking to the old you. The you who tolerated nonsense. The you who didn't set boundaries. The you who hadn't yet learned how to love yourself. And maybe that connection used to feel like home. But now, it just feels off. And here's the thing no one really says out loud. Outgrowing people doesn't mean you're better than them. It doesn't mean you hate them. It just means your journey is taking you in a different direction. Not everyone is meant to go where you're going. Some people are only meant to teach you something. And once that lesson is learned, you have to keep walking. Letting go of people from your past isn't betrayal. It's making room for the future version of you to breathe, to thrive, to expand, to finally step into the life you're building. Because if you keep dragging old energy into new seasons, you'll never fully grow into the person you're trying to become. So let's be real for a second. Letting go of people, it's not easy. Even when they've hurt you, even when they've outgrown you, or you've outgrown them. There's still a part of you that remembers the good times, the laughs, the connection that once felt unbreakable. But growth requires honesty. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is to stop watering dead plants. Because not everyone deserves a front row seat to your life. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into your healing, your glow up, your peace. And if keeping someone in your life is costing you your energy, your confidence, your clarity, that's too high a price to pay. You owe it to yourself to choose peace. To choose relationships that pour into you, not just take from you. To choose people who match your love, your effort, your growth. So if you needed a sign, this is it. It's okay to let go. It's okay to wish someone well and still move on. It's okay to choose you, fully, unapologetically, without guilt. Because the right people, they won't make you question your worth. They won't make you chase. They'll show up. They'll stay. They'll grow with you. and you deserve nothing less.